Welcome back to Virtual Reality Game Dev Ed. This is the 7th tutorial for using MakeHuman in Blender. Now we're actually going to touch a little bit on both Blender 2.57 and the latest 2.62. Now the reason we are going to do this is because we actually want to use the model that we have that we pulled out of our original MakeHuman, the stable MakeHuman release here, because we want the clothes off of him. We're actually going to do some work with clothes today. So open up Blender 2.57. Blender 2.57. If you followed the first two tutorials in this series, we already imported a MakeHuman model from the stable release. So I'm going to go ahead and open that. Okay. I set him up with the camera and everything, right? I already subdivided the t-shirt and everything. So, okay. The first thing you want to do here actually, I should probably spend a little time before I get into clothes. Let me go over this version of the armature. There are some different functions here. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go over this armature. Right click here and it should select the armature for you. The first thing you're gonna see is that it jumps you down to pose mode down here. Okay. So we're gonna spend a little bit of time going over this version of the armature. It's a little bit different. If you'd like to use this model in Blender 2.62, it will still have, I'll show you everyone how to use the stable release models in Blender 2.62, but so let me go over this version of the armature real quick. Okay. Now most of it is the same. Let me go ahead and hit 1 on my number pad and right click this and pull this down. The difference we see is it actually has limitations as to how far you can move the arm. There's actually realistic limitations, right? You see it gets to a point, it will stop. It won't let us move it too close to our head or too close to our body. This allows me to point out another one of the problems with mesh, though. In 3D graphics, let me go ahead and pull my arms down, select both of these top ones on the upper arm, and you see that it'll pull down that just a little bit. And let me pull this in just a little bit. And then let me go ahead and hit 3 on my number pad and pull my forearm up. Oh, see, that's why I'm getting funny. I'm moving the wrong arm. That's okay. Left click to set it there. Move this one up just a little bit. There we go. Now, okay. You see, looking really closely at this, the program doesn't know which mesh we prefer to be showing. So we actually have to make this, the mesh for the shirt, a little bit larger than the model. Otherwise we're going to have some problems when we're rendering it. And the same thing will happen with the body. If you actually move the body parts too close together, like for instance, let me do the hands. We'll go ahead and take these fingers and move them in a bit. Ooh, I don't want just the tip of my finger. I want the whole finger. Yeah, I want to carefully select the actual box. There we go. Now I'm moving the whole finger at once. And pull that inward. And then take your thumb, select the line on the thumb, and move it down. To literally put it inside the other finger. Now look closely at that. Tell me if anyone can tell me how that's realistic, then you're fairly crazy. You gotta be careful about doing things like that. It is possible to go a little bit too far with mesh and pull mesh inside of itself. So that's something we don't want to do. You want to be a little careful about that. And you see how we can move the fingers side to side too. This is why we get funny angles with the fingers. You can put them on top of each other and such. However, with these armatures, I'm going to go ahead and move it to the side a little bit so we can make sure I'm not selecting the actual box to move the whole finger at a time. Just like the tongue in the 2.62 version, this actually moves fingers at these specific joints individually. Now again, we can move the whole arm around at once freely by just holding on to that box. However, it keeps it locked to that realistic point because of this little floating box out there. Right? Okay. Let's see what other differences do we have here. All of these middle ones should be the same. They move the body up and down. This one will, let's see, does that do anything? I'm not sure that I see anything happening there. That might be one of the ones that we actually set ourselves. This, for instance, is a limitation line that actually shows you where the arm is placed originally. This cube doesn't do anything either. This shows you where the elbow is supposed to be originally. This one will move the whole object around, a little different than the armature we saw to move the whole object around earlier. Okay. These should be the same. That box will freely move the leg around, just the same. And this, if I can get to it right, this box moves the whole toes up and down, same as the other program. Okay, now, another difference, I believe, even the eyes will move around, just like before. Okay, direction you're looking. The other difference we have here So these don't actually do anything, we will notice, if you look really closely at the face. Right now, these side functions don't do anything, and we have a couple blank ones too. What these are presets. You can actually set your own variables into those. The rest of the face moves just the same. Yes. On these you actually first want to move them over, and then we should see if you move them all the way over to the furthest extension, these will move. Okay, so I want to you have to manually curl up the finger first, okay, and then this will find the right one. I believe these affect the fingers and hands. This is supposed to move the arms and legs for you. Puts them back at full extension or back to where you had it. That way you can reset yourself real quick. But if you haven't moved anything, like my legs aren't moved, this won't do anything. These only work if you've already moved the body part. Okay. Last one, this moves the whole model around as well. Let me see, anything else? This will move the shoulder up and down. Anything else? This will actually pop the chest out. Wow, that's neat. Okay. Anything else? There's the jaw and the tongue, top of the head, side to side, up and down. All 4 of these ones here. Alright. So that's a very quick run through. This moves the lower part of the body. These ones will actually rotate the leg. That's cool. Okay, anything else? Okay. So yes, if you want freedom, you don't want to be locked by all these limitations, then you want to use the model exported from the nightly version. However, if you like these limitations and you'd like to be able to reset your changes real quick, you like your realistic limitations and you want to be able to quickly reset anything you're doing, you can use this model. I will show everyone now in the next video how to take a model from 2.57 and put it in Blender 2.5 or 2.62. Okay, I will see everyone again soon.